Okay, today at Psychotech Labs, we got a Palomar 300A. Alright, that tube back here just lost its vacuum, but we're going to talk about poor engineering. Okay, dangerous poor engineering. Okay. You'll notice these tubes are shorter, that one's taller, that one that's dead is real tall. Alright. Zero clearance. Zero clearance. That means that was hitting the top of the case. So we probably put something on top of this case because the tube was already there. You probably crush the tube enough to make it lose its vacuum. But that's a dead short, boys and girls, on the plate. Okay. What do we see here? Okay, this tube, there's clearance. I can stick my finger in there. No clearance. You're asking what's going on? How could this be? Alright, it works like this. There are standard duty tubes. There are commercial tubes. Is that the same size? Yep, that one's even taller. Three different sizes. You have standard duty, commercial, industrial. Okay. This linear, when it was made, they put standard duty tubes in and they're shorter. Well, they didn't think that, I guess, or they didn't care, yet there's different size tubes. So, you know, the engineers at Palomar decided, you know, they were going to do that. Big problem. That's the main problem with this linear. Makes it a death trap. Literally. I mean, if you didn't have this chassis properly grounded, when, not if, but when that shorts out to the case, you're discharging high voltage into the metal case. Now, should you be touching the metal case, or the coax connectors, you know, you have your shielded ground going through that, that's all going to get energized. So, yeah, not a good engineering at all. Anyway, Psychotech Labs, we got a cure for that. There's just enough room to shim that circuit board up from the bottom and pull these down just enough to where you got enough clearance to where you can use the commercial tubes. Industrial tubes, no. So, standard duty, commercial, industrial. On some industrial tubes, I got one out there somewhere that's even taller than this. It's really long. So, we're going to go through, check all the tubes, do whatever shimming we have to do. No, we're not going to do that gay shim the case up that everybody does, because it looks gay and then you end up with this big gap here. No, that's not how you do it. You shim the circuit board from the bottom. It's a lot of work, but that's how you do it. That, or round up all standard duty tubes. Alright, we got to recap this baby too, so we're better get on it. Psychotech Labs, new project, Palomar 300A, over and out. Alright, I found two shorter tubes in my stock. He had a bunch of 6LF6s, but they were pretty much all dead, and one was too tall. So, I needed 6LF6s here in the driver. As you can see, we got space, plenty of space. One of the that one tube that was in the driver, it wasn't broken. It was the same as these, all 6KD6s, all standard duty, plenty of clearance. So I don't have to shim. Got proper size tubes in there, and all tested and ready to go. Now all we gotta do is recap it, and this thing should be done. Psychotech Labs, moving right along on the Palomar 300A project. Well, this has already had the shim kit done to it. I think I know who'd done that. I'm not going to say, but this one person, he when he does the shim kit, he ends up having to cut the bottom of the linear. We won't mention names, but yeah. Anyway, we got it retubed with the right sizes and everything. The capacitors look like they've been replaced fairly recent. We're going to go ahead and throw this on the Variac and see what it does. So, wish me luck. Catch me later. Got past the Variac test. Powers up. Powered it up, let it warm up. And, yeah, no king. So, king circuit's not activating. So we'll have to trace that out. Other than that, it seemed to be okay. So, we'll get back to you on this one later. Psychotech Labs, signing off. Okay, so we got no king circuit at all. And the bilinear part, when you turn that on, the relay doesn't click. Okay. That right there is a little diode. That there is a capacitor. Now, at that diode right there, should have had between 11 to 14 volts ish. Yeah, anywhere in that. So I tried to test the diode. It didn't seem to be testing good. Went ahead and hooked my voltmeter up to there, powered it up slowly on the Variac, and I had no voltage at this point. So we're going to pull this board, we're going to pull this diode, replace it, and then hopefully that'll get us our power back. Well, it definitely should. Then we should be able to key up and test this thing. Stay tuned, boys and girls. Psychotech Labs on another exciting adventure inside the guts of a Palomar 300A. Okay. So, that one diode, it pretty much crumbled, the one I replaced in the low voltage section. Yeah, that diode right there is cracked all the way across it in the high voltage section. I was powering up the Variac, everything was working good, and it started buzz, and I shut the Variac off, and checked it out, and yeah, that diode failed in the high voltage stage, so I was thinking about that anyway. So we're going to replace all these diodes. Pain in the butt, we got to pull this whole board back up and solder a bunch of wires so we got enough free play. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Replace these diodes with some heavy duty ones. Catch you later. Okay, so I replaced that diode that was burned up. That provided 12 volts to this board right here. It's your relay board, keying board, and all that. Okay. I went ahead and hit the preamp switch, and it went, and then I seen some smoke, and then that was it. Burnt these traces here. Apparently, I'm gonna guess that these diodes here are bad too. Pretty much all these diodes in this were falling apart. The material that they were made out of broke down. So am I going to repair this? Nah. Where is it? I got another one. Yeah. So we're going to pop in this extra board. It's it's good to go. So we'll pop that in. I'm going to go back and check that diode and see if it popped that diode. Then hopefully key circuit will work, stuff will quit frying, and everything else. So that's where we're at. Stay tuned, Psychotech Labs. We're going balls deep in this thing. Yeah. Okay, the diode that I put in there is now dead shorted. So we swapped out that whole board. And let's swap out this diode. And yeah, see what we can do. Hopefully that'll cure the whole keying circuit issue and everything. So let's swap out that diode. Oh boy. Alright, so had to replace that keying transistor right there. It was shorted. Went ahead and replaced these diodes here on this replacement board, just because I could. Don't want those suckers shorting out and causing more problems than we already got. So that's one of the tubes that I put in there. It got hot and lost vacuum, so I got to scrounge up another tube for the driver. Oh boy, we're just having all sorts of fun. Alright, anyway, that's done. We can put that back in and move on to finding another tube. Hopefully I got one short enough. Catch me later. Alright, the 300A is done. It's putting out a lot of power actually. Audio. 600, man. 575, 600. They usually do about 550, so yeah, we got good perky tubes in there. We test it all. Anyway, Palomar 300A project all done. So catch me later. Psychotech Labs signing off, and thanks for watching my videos.